out of the ordinary. It could be something that's very practiced here for Cloud9. So this matchup is going to look very good for the elimination game.
I can't wait. I mean, MIBR looks like they got a comp that needs to be active as well. Might just see that on the retake here as we see C9 focusing that C to start.
This is a change. Cortezia starting things off, still angry on this side. He has the big Razor Fire to slow things off and also scores first blood.
They don't seem too worried about it. MIBR feeling good as Artson comes up 2 quick kills. Now 3 members of C9 mill about in the back of sight, just seeing if they can get the positioning to get this spike down for a slight positional advantage.
And MIBR playing in numbers, but the thing is, they allowed C9 to actually place the wall to block off Waterfall, and that's super strong on Pistol. Everybody could now focus towards the spawn.
Quick Oxy push forward, trying to scale a little bit with Vic on the help there. There's 2 quick ones coming in from Cloud9. It looks like they'll be able to clear the rest of MIBR, and that's 1 round for C9.
And that important thing here, we talked about just Oxy going to farm some kills, and with his death already has a showstopper in the bonus round, which is actually so strong for Cloud9. 4 rifles on top of that, leaning towards, again, the C side. The condition continues to be very good for Cloud9.
And Rubble's already controlled by Shenum, so they should know this is happening. Oxy's going to take that space and just flex the muscles. We're here quick with a stinger. Arsene goes down, and not much smoke control will be left here for the control over C site. That wall goes down, and so does Cortezia. Okay, quick trades. Nasra back into the site. Didn't expect this just as fast. They're working kind of 1 by 1 right now, and it works for a few kills, leaving a 2v2.
And Ospas is still alive here. Both of them working together. Oh, the wall bang from Vic. You talk about the consistency of how he's not going to make big plays, but could still anchor it up for Cloud9, and they already have a clear advantage.
Yeah, Ospas gonna have to use the mechanics real tough on this one. Swing up to the left, almost like the 8-10 split, or 7-10 split, I should say. There's one. Almost got the other. Vic's ready on the top side. Nice split by C9 to make that work and pick up the bonus.
Last minute changes.
We were watching their Fracture match as well. We could see in times when they had lower or big buys, like Zeppa would have a Phantom and Oxy would have that Stinger, Zeppa keeps Oxy with him. He's like, no, we're going to have this leash on you for now. So they're kind of giving Oxy room, but also making sure he's doing what the team wants him to do.
It feels like there was a little bit of a miscom cut out from MIBR because they tried to go potentially for this Paranoia showstopper right in front of B. But you look on the side of C9, they barely use any utility to get out, so they have so much to hit towards this A site.
They keep doing this. They make MIBR throw a bunch of utility out, and then they freely hit a site. Oxy has to be careful. He's used to this position, being alone across from the team. And nobody's even peeking. MIBR's given so much space, but finally Artson's able to trade. The rest of the cavalry comes through now as C9's going to set up in sight with a nice wall on A-Link. Quick trades by MIBR. Kind of scattered in sight now as Vic is firing for the last shot. A bit scattered there as it's a back and forth right now, but it's going to be Ospas up top, and he does take down Vic for MIBR's first round.
And with the attempt of C9 moving into the site, so they're very nicely done here to stall the push from MIBR, and that's the start that you want, finally. The first round that they have in is a clean one.
They're taking mound control. They were taking rubble control from MIBR side before to get a read on C, so they should have a read on A now to get back over here and try to shut down C9. Ospas could use that showstopper as well as Steel Guard and that ult from Cortezia.
Yeah, and he's playing way back towards the A site. The flash that he placed on that previous round was already identified by Cloud9, so they could leverage that and sell a little bit of this fake and break that util to finish towards the B side. But we're all still playing the information game for C9.
Right through Baby Door. Yes. Ooh, did they just actually get that on Ospas?
Yeah.
May find nothing for it. Stuck by the paint shells, forced back, and this is going to fizzle out before he even finds a kill. C9 is reading things so well with this push and pull.
And that was off Zeppa going in here with a scout drone so that it pulls it out so that he's like, oh, I have a green light. I could move in with the rocket. I'm not going to get stalled. But then he gets funneled into paint shells that pulls him back. And now C9 can re-hit into B against less utility. But the position in the front B side from Shenum could be huge.
They rush on the flush. Beautiful job off Zeppa's utility, but they don't know about Shenum. A quick hit, and Shenum plays his life. Super smart. What's this lurk from Net going to do, though? Obviously seeing one Cortezia just on the other side. A bit of cat and mouse here as the spike is planted, and MIBR has to move.
Net staying far behind, so they isolated him. They can fight back towards the spawn.
Quick hits there. Cortezia comes up with a big one, but they're going to be pushing forward off of that. Mitch answers. Artsene brings it down to a 2v2, and Mitch is low, limping around that heaven area, trying to get the arsenal back up and online. It's just past half, fans. Looks like they're going to be able to get at Shenum. Coming up big as the defuse happens inside by Artsine. A bit scattered, but MIBR adjusts to the flush very well.
Because there's no aftershock to help out to really take the diffuser off the spike. So MIBR swinging 2 rounds together, and now we're pressure from Cloud9 right into a pit dropped early by Artazine.
Oh, Rolling Thunder goes straight through, and the whole team is here. Rubble control already by MIBR, so they're going to have to close in on this. A quick peek. Artsin finds it with a shorty. Nat's actually just 1 tick away from dying. Anything hits him and he falls. What a stall again by MIBR. They figured something out here, even if it's an ult to be used at the beginning of the round.
But that's the spike too. Mitch moved in together thinking that he had his teammates behind with him, but the thing is trying to pressure into that pit. They got stopped by the wall set up by Cortezia. So the study of the King9 for C9 to be able to abuse towards the C site has now been funneled by Cortezia's agent change. It really foils their plan, so they have to rework now in the mid round and really try to pinch back in. They still have a lot of time to work with, so they could still do some damage.
What an awkward spot for the spike to be. They're going to get as deep as they can on one side while trying to watch the flank, and this is going to be Vic and OXY on that squad. Let's see what the power players can do here. Possibly get a hit as well from Zeppa and Net as they get into the site, but it looks like MIBR are so ready.
Second wave too, so you have Util coming through, you heard the salvos, and now double walking in. Crossfire is beautiful though.
Again! There's 2! Quick shorties, each shell coming up with a frag there for Net and Zeppa as Naswer clears off the round. MIBR on a little bit of a roll now.
Artazine's the one that's getting 3 kills with a shorty from inside this pit, starting with his first one here onto Mitch. Again, really did a great job, MIBR, from splitting that first wave. Look at that snake bite on the ground too, nothing you could really do. Everybody's actually losing HP going inside that pit. So Artazine had so much value with the shorty, look at that. It's just too nice.
Shadow being alive in any of these instances seems to be delivering so much info. I hear this util was used, we can attack now, you know.
Exactly.
Just able to set up the re-hit. And that's what MIBR is kind of needed here. C9 pushes themselves into sight pretty fast each time, but the post plants have been trouble.
You already see it now. They started with pain shells, all that util being used by MIBR on his half-buy from Cloud9. Yes, there's still going to be a little bit of a stall for MIBR on that side when they move inside the site. Whoa. No way!
Artazine with 3. The hat trick coming up quick here. They can't even get by the Razor Vines. But they really didn't even make it into sight. They just got spammed through the smoke and couldn't even trade back the Vandal, if you consider it being that. And Zeppa had the ultimate there. Looked like they wanted to use just about everything to get into C.
It's quite interesting, too, because Cloud9, in that pistol round, they did a good job pain shelling towards that front of the C side to attempt to break util there. Now they have salvos and pain shells, but they don't even break the Razor Vines, which allowed here Artazine to stuff them on their attempt to hit towards the C side. But at least Zeppa for now. Guardian shot in the beginning.
Quick salvo. Tall task.
There's tall.
1-2. And the trade's going to be there for Mitch, but Cortezia comes up with one of his own. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's also like just trying to take advantage of this re-hit from C9, not only playing for delays, but you need to add more on top of the delays here so that you really don't allow these late lurks also to happen from the C9 camp. And to kick things off, we talk about that proactiveness. Already 2 of them pushed all the way up towards the entrance of A main.
Here we go.
So you already have a good idea that C9 are playing that same default at the beginning, but they are unaware of what's happening, who's holding towards that spawn, because they never crossed that line of scrimmage. Big fight coming up here between both Aspas and Zeppa potentially.
Trading shots through the smoke, not trading, but putting shots through the smoke to see if they can get any of those trades back. That util, anything here. Seems like smokes will always be the beginning of these 2 series on Lotus. Attempting it once again as the gas comes back up, and really just a stalemate right now as MIBR is not giving up that util C9 usually sees.
He's trying to save a little bit of that fuel because they still have a snake bite with this crossfire setup. Full ult could do it.
Artsine doesn't get hit. He's able to take one down with a stinger. A quick trade, though. The site is not considered open just yet. Still one Naswer in the backside trying to hold it down.
He got netted.
Oh, he still gets the kill, though, and he's able to skirt to safety. But for how long? Quick flank. We saw this push coming in. Shenum and Aspas already there. The timing has been perfect, and Naswer's damage from the back of the site leaves Mitch alone. Leaves him in a very troublesome spot, and Aspas cleans it up. Another round for MIBR.
That's exactly what you want from your IGL with that experience.
Perfect.
Yes, some teammates are falling down, but you've done some good damage. You did great delay, but on top of that, not giving your life away. You don't allow C9 to flip the map, to flip the site over to play towards that spawn. So he delays long enough, even avoids getting hit by the grab net aftershock and even gets a kill on top of that to allow these two players to flank from behind. It was done towards the late round. Last round, though, of this half, and MIBR are keeping this game close.
Credit to them. Figuring out the little things and just slowing C9 down is making them so uncomfortable. Not too many ults here to be used in the last round. They've been all used to just get us to this point. Seems like they need to rinse and repeat with them as soon as they can, as they are going punch for punch here. A lot of A for C9 to start this one off.
C9's another slow default. Probably want to try to make that pit come out as soon as possible here so that they could actually work a better mid round, trying to isolate and understand where this Viper could be playing.
Prowler doesn't see anything. And there's no push from Artsine right now, but he does know no quick C push. They can kind of focus these three, so the defense is good for MIBR. And these are the reads that have kind of set them up right. They have enough util to just stall C9.
This round is too important for Artsine to actually push out. He's got that pit. He's playing solo on that C side too, so he's just jiggling for information while the other ones could actually stack up towards this A site. They still have the stall from Shunnum with the flash. The Haunt actually didn't get too much information here, so that's going to start having MIBR guessing.
That 40-second hit, that's when your signature comes back up, so we see a bit of the skills being used. OXY opens up the site here, and now MIBR has to force back C9. They get one. A second on the site, a third, almost a fourth. Vic's able to transfer that one over in the trade, though, as Nazwar is chasing just on the heels, just on his coattails, the right click, classic. Nazwar gets the 3K and a 6-6 first half.
And that's coming into potentially an untested composition against C9. But that shows a lot of work that's been done here behind the scenes by Fraud and how much hours are put into both of these coaches to make sure they don't get eliminated today. We start things off now on the pistol with MIBR starting very slowly at the beginning of the spawn. Didn't find any util at all coming in here from Cloud9. Even Zeppa saved his salvos.
Is this going to be a wall coming in? Yeah, here's the wall. Here's one thing. Knows he can wall a link, but it's going to be tree for MIBR. They should have a pretty easy walk-in and setup as they see Mitch for quick damage to the wall. But here comes the salvo, the site rush. Cloud9's actually ready to waterfall in here, and MIBR's a bit split for how they want to defend this. OXY and Mitch, quick two to start it off here as they get things fired up for C9. Now it's just a hide in the smoke. MIBR is not looking good for this pistol round.
Just too much going on for Cloud9. Even that wall funnels them into the front line. So much util to stall them, and allowing for C9 to be able to do what they're good at, flitting back and training as a team so far this kickoff. And Cortez, Zia, and Shinam, the new bloods, are going to have to clutch a 2v5.
What an awesome set of util. The wall to the left there, Van, salvo on the spike, and then you can only hide in tree or in the open.
Retaken. MIBR forcing into Stingers in this round. Well, a half buy so they could buy into the next, and leveraging Stingers and group play, working in tandem. Buddy system, try to get this plant towards his B site.
Nat utility towards B. Almost looks like Vic's ready to paranoia if they do get information across that B front and main. Really great setups to start, but MIBR has worked around it. They're going to start heading towards A if a possible baby door hit here once they get the motion going.
And it's going to be into OXY's Outlaw. And I love the scale now. The positive things about MIBR playing this double controller is that they could actually play the surprise game and block these lines against teams that were a little bit too passive. Almost got punished there, but at least they know that the raise is there with the Outlaw. They pivot potentially for a split to the B site, but it's held off by Net's wall in the front.
So good.
Wow.
Netted off, fault lined as well. You can see back from Mitch there as they went through the wall. Such communication from across the map that this team can utilize as Cloud9 stops MIBR's quick push there. The plant will still go down, but a little worse for the wear. All right, Shannon with a great scale push. I don't think they can retrieve that weapon, though. Just guarding each other in sight here. C9 getting prepared to retake. Put themselves inside. Get that defuse. Slow kills just from heaven here. I think MIBR is kind of scrambling on this one. They don't know which way to look as their whole team starts to fall down around them. Nazwar is able to answer, but it's just a stinger. Knowing these Vandals are coming through, they still have to scale just a little bit. Artisine coming up huge with Nazwar, and the two veterans are able to capitalize on the round.
Oh my gosh, that looked like it was going to be a C9 getting to the last second to fuse. When you see here what happens in terms of the trap plays, out with the net from Net.
Oh my gosh.
But you saw it from MIBR's side. They were starting to use a lot of util to try to push back the defenders towards their spawn, but they're already playing further back, and they had less util to work with to stall. And half buy that converts into a round, you're going to take that for sure because it adds a lot more room to breathe here for MIBR, who continue to trail behind in the early halves of this map.
Okay, spike down in spawn, so a little bit of a default here. Wow, big push up by Mitch right now. He's going to be giving out calls. Got a judge just on the outside of that. His 3 members ready to rotate to any side of the map from B. As MIBR plays a bit of the door game. Remember, Spike's still down though, so we're going to see a big rotation here.
Still very interesting that MIBR thought that C9 were playing some sort of mount control, so they already burnt out their paranoia, opening the wall and
all those smokes. Exactly,
trying to go for some sort of pinch. So your second wave, the re-hit back into what they want to try to do here, could be determined right here.
Oh, God! The jumping headshot, that's going to cause Nazar to back up. No one to heal on that. Prowler's used up, so they know they don't have the initiator utility to the left side or wherever they are going to hit. C9 is doing really well right now, controlling the map, and they paranoia off this Steel Garden for now. Stave off MIBR's pressure so well. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have pistols towards the end. You have salvos coming all the way from spawn, the wall that comes up from net.
And stunned again.
And now you have 0 util going into B.
What are we watching? What a round from Cloud9. Util net is making some of these sites so difficult to fight in right now with just that, the deadlock net and the rest of the util. The first time from MIBR saying, no, A-Rubble's ours. What a pressure hit here.
Yeah, and that was answered back by Zeppa's salvos just to split that push from MIBR, but not adding more util for C9. They're okay with letting MIBR take this over because it could still potentially combo more towards this tree because OXY has Showstopper. You want to bait him into the tree hit.
Just wanted a nightfall and caught a fault line for Mitch. Like, you see what kind of timing the MIBR is dealing with. It doesn't affect them too much, but that was going to be their hit. All these little things causing them to balk.
Rocket Arena.
Oh, in the tree, right over the top of one. Oxy's going to get traded back by Ospas as he stays alive in the situation, only to fall to Mitch. Oh my gosh, Zeppa on point with the salvo to find another one here. And again, a scattered MIBR tries to pick up the pieces. It's going to be a TP to see.
You just love these moments where you can just stay in the back of the spawn and get free kills by just hitting on your iPad and getting kills and combining off util.
It's the iPad baby era.
And you can't play a lurk against the master lurk himself, Net, who's been punished here and there, but also finding great value on super late lurks. Just really snuffed out and sniffed out Cortezia trying to go for that flank in. This is going to be another impossible task for the other rookie in this roster for MIBR, Shinam, on a 1 versus 4.
Oh my,
dude.
Wrapped up in a cocoon of utility and taken down by Vic. That's going to be a defuse here as C9 put map 1 on game point.
Yeah, and now learning from their mistakes and learning how to play with this composition, maximize the value of the Tejo.
It has been a bit of that moment for Oxy. It's like, oh yeah, this is how you do it again, right? Oh my gosh, Vic already with a frag. Just straight through the smoke to the back of Mound.
And the Craft Net canceled the showstopper from Ospas, and that was going to be the Hail Mary potential MIBR to get the round back.
Straight through, they're going to get locked up, deadlock util again, but no, Ospas is able to trade just past that as the team follows in tow. Armageddon right under their feet, but it's not going to cause anybody to go down just yet.
And thankfully, they saved the third player. That was Cocoon, so Nazar, the IGL's back with the team. Oh,
Zeppa's super close and they didn't even realize it, but Archton still gets the flick there. Now Oxy trades into 1, 2v2 as they try to get into the site. Not easy with an outlaw as MIBR tries to stay hidden, but it's not an outlaw. It's a shorty as Nazar comes up with 1, and Mitch is able to capitalize on the final frag to give C9 Lotus over MIBR.